Okay, so good morning, my dear students. So welcome to the first module of Homeroom Guidance. So for grade 12, congratulations, grade 12 na kayo. So I believe you have the copies of your modules. I already sent them to you, okay? So self-analysis, a step to my improvement. So in whatever things that you do actually, napaka-importante na ina-analyze mo yung ginagawa mo as an individual. Because upon analyzing what you're doing, you are actually making steps for your self-improvement. Bakit nagkakaroon ng improvement? Kasi parang iniisip mo you're breaking things down. Like at the end of the day, tama ba yung ginawa ko? Could I have made things better? Like that. So, if you notice problems or areas for improvement, hence, may maayos ka pa, may magagawa ka pa para sa sarili. Okay? So, learning objectives, at the end of this module, you are expected to identify your strengths and weaknesses and their roles on your personal development. Walang puro strengths, okay? May weaknesses tayong lahat, and we know that. And show many ways to enhance strengths and overcome weaknesses on different aspects of personality, like physical, physiological, mental, spiritual, social, moral, and emotional. Okay? And express an oath of commitment in valuing yourself. Okay? So, sayang din yung attendance nila. Wait a second. Okay, so since we're okay with the learning module, this is for the first week of the first quarter. So suggested total time allotment 60 minutes. That's why we're doing, actually you're given more than 60 minutes. That's why you're just be presenting later. Okay, credits to the creator of the PowerPoint, the homeroom designate of senior high school, Ma'am RG. Okay, what do you need for the materials? You need your personal goal development worksheet. You also need your pledge of commitment, your homeroom guidance portfolio, notebook, and a clean sheet of paper. And then coloring materials if available, okay? So introduction. So we have self-awareness, constant change, strengths, and weaknesses, and self-evaluation. So if you notice, it's all about the person's self, okay? So self-awareness is important because it makes you be conscious of yourself, of what you're doing, of your characteristics, of your strengths and weaknesses. However, we have to understand that everything around us and ourselves actually also undergo constant change. Okay, so if there's constant change, you would also apparently see upon experiencing these changes, whether it's in life, it's in academics, friendship, or even relationships, you'll have your strengths and weaknesses surfacing. Kung paano ka mag-react sa mga changes na yun, lalabas yung apparent strengths and weaknesses. And there would be times that you'll be at your best and you'll be at some point sa worst mo. So, that would be the perfect time to self-evaluate. Okay? Bakit kailangan ng self-evaluation? Siguro I would say that before you sleep siguro, i-evaluate. Okay? Naging mabuting tao ba ako ngayon? Pinagawa ba ako hindi masyadong maganda? And kung may nagawa kang hindi masyadong maganda, what could you do about it? Okay? So let's try this. Mirroring therapy. So face in front of the mirror and act out your emotional reactions. You could do this later on the following scenarios or aspects of your personality. Okay? So wait a second. Okay, I just fixed something. So going back, for the mirroring therapy, So, kuha ka ng mirror. So, tignan mo kung ano yung itsura mo upon doing the following. Okay, first, yung facial structure mo. Okay, appreciate mo yan. Because you should be the first one to appreciate your face. Next is the circle of friends that you have. Of course, you cannot do this, but then again, you try to recall, okay? Imaginein mo na kasama mo yung mga circle of friends mo, look at your face. Then, isipin mo naman yung current academic performance mo. Then, you should be happy actually. We're just starting. So, kung medyo umiiba na yung mukha mo, medyo naging negative na, you have to think about it again. And then, living with family. Saya ka ba? Personal relationship with God, of course, you should be. Your current relationship status, your body posture, and attitude towards difficulties in life. Okay. Somebody's. Okay. Do we have questions? Ay, hindi gumagalaw yung PowerPoint. Okay. Thank you for telling me. Iba na yung iba na yung naka-flash. Kasi nag-ano ako eh. Yung nag-out tab ako lagi. Okay. So, ganyan na lang. Ayan, ito nga yung nasabi natin. Thank you for informing me. So, yun yung mga bagay na iisipin mo, act out mo yung emotional reactions mo, and you take note of how you reacted to them, okay? So, try to observe yourself and evaluate your emotional reactions. Write down your answers on your portfolio, or if initially you want on a sheet of paper, including your answers to the processing questions. First, how did you feel about the activity? Was it easy or difficult? Why? Were you able to mirror emotional reactions you had towards the different scenarios in your life and aspects of your personality? How? What strengths and weaknesses have you noticed or identified? So let's explore. So please bear in mind that personal goal development worksheet presents to you an action plan. So you could check your outputs. Here is your personal goal development worksheet. Okay. So you would have to indicate your responses about your personal goals. So you have your guide here. Diba? I ask you to make your vision boards. I'll be requiring you to show them later, okay? And hopefully I could also show mine later. So that could already start or give you a kickstart for your personal goals. What should you stop? Alright. I'm also, natamaan din ako dito sa sleeping late, okay? What should you minimize? What should you continue? What should you improve and start? So I'll be checking these later, okay? Then processing questions. How did you find this activity? How would this help you to attain your personal goal? And what could be the possible barriers in achieving your personal goals? Okay? So keep in mind, you are now in grade 12, which is in the last level in basic education. So, kumbaga sa continuum from grade 7 to 12, ito na yung dapat fully evolved ka na, fully developed ka na compared sa rest. If not fully, at least you're better compared to the rest of the year levels. Kasi nga, mas matanda na, okay? Mas educated na in terms of cognition and stuff, okay? So, how do you think you're dealing with it, okay? A group of researchers led by Amanda Eller states that a balanced person might develop an active role in interpreting the expectation of the social actors from the home and work domains and from other institutions. So, ibig sabihin, nagkakaroon ng balance person, okay, nade-develop yung active role kung na-interpret or nasasabi or napapakita yung mga expectations ng mga social actors. Sino yung mga social actors, okay? Sa home at saka sa work and other institutions. Pwedeng family members, yung teachers, classmates, etc. And even the workmates, okay? So, nagkakaroon ng balanced person na na-develop yung active role niya kung nai-interpret niya kung ano yung expectations nila. Kahit parang sa relationship, di ba? Nagkakaroon ng balance na girlfriend or boyfriend na nade-develop niya yung active role niya bilang girlfriend kung alam niya kung anong dapat gawin, kung alam niya yung kung ano in-expect um, ng boyfriend niya at some point. Same goes with your thesis group mates. Alam mo yung role mo bilang thesis group mate kung it's explicitly stated or the expectations were indicated, okay? And it is also where he or she studies and adopts boundaries with degrees of permeability. So permeability, ibig sabihin, hindi siya totally permanent, okay? Nakakapasok pa. So pwede pang ma-change. That enable a state of greater balance between the said domains. When it comes to life, happiness, and well-being, walang one single area of life that we need to focus on. Sabi nga, personally, para sa akin, fragmented ang buhay. So, life is multidimensional and dynamic. Hindi lang naman pwedeng mag-focus ka sa studies. Kailangan mo din naman yung friendship. Hindi naman puro friendship. At some point, especially in your age, may iba na kailangan din ng relationship. At kailangan mo rin gampanan ng role mo sa academics. Okay? So, we have 5 dimensions that will guide you in areas, on the areas to focus and to improve. So, physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. So, sa physical, ito yung katawan natin. At least nag-exercise. Okay. At least kumakain dapat ng healthy food choices. Hindi palaging maalat, hindi palaging soft drinks, hindi palaging alak. Okay? So, you have to also, lalo na ngayong pandemic, you have to make sure that you're eating the right food and you're taking care of your own body. Na ako personally, pag lumalabas ako, double mask, kahit medyo magastos siya, okay? So, kasi you have to take care of your physical body. Kasi without the physical, wala yung rest, okay? Strong ka nga mentally, wala ka namang katawan. Gets mo ba? Kaluluwa ka na lang, paano yun, okay? So, you need the physical first before you also parang improve and focus on the rest. Kasi it starts with a good body. Okay? Next is, ayun nga, sabi nga, ang hirap niyang actually takes discipline. Tinatamaan ako dito. Na madaling sabihin na magkaroon ng healthy body pero it takes discipline to do so. Yung pag-exercise regularly, healthy diet, okay? Hindi puro milk tea, okay, ayan. Hindi puro samji, ayan. Hindi puro takoyaki, ayan na, okay? Tapos di pa natutulog ng maaga, okay? But at least I could say that I am keeping up with the vaccinations, okay? Of course, for goodness sake, brush your teeth, okay? And avoid listening to loud music, yung sobrang lakas, na kahit naka-earphones ka, parang, yun, earphones o speaker, parang ganun yung tanong okay? Mental, okay? It is important for you to have good mental health habits. Part of this is learning how to acknowledge when you don't feel comfortable and you don't want to say yes. It's learning to say no, okay? So it includes coping, resilience, good judgment among your age group to achieve overall well-being. It sets the stage for positive mental health in adulthood. Mood swings, for example, are common during adolescence. So some adolescents might experience serious mental health adjustment, just like depression and or anxiety disorders at some point in life. Like we have to admit that sometimes we have to choose ourselves. Okay, kung halimbawa, I experienced this. I got invited in a get-together with some friends and I don't feel comfortable with one of them. And for my mental health purposes, I didn't go there kasi I know that I'll just be troubled, okay, with that specific person around. So I chose myself. Hindi ko pinilit, okay? So same goes with how I acknowledge my emotions, how I try to deal with my emotions, okay? Kasi those two are connected at some point, okay? But On a deeper level, we have to acknowledge that mental health is very important. Okay, you could have that someone better kung experienced siya, better if trusted person siya or a close friend or a close family member na pwede mong pagsabihan ng naisip mo and could tell you, hey, that's wrong, or hey, you should think about that again, na hindi lang puro oo, sige, support kita. Kasi a true friend would tell you na, hey, that's a bit off, parang ganun, okay? Ang totoong kaibigan, sasabihin niya kung may dumi ka sa mukha, okay? So, have that friend, okay? Imbalance lang, okay? Which is also connected with emotional. Ito yung nafe-feel natin lagi, okay? Um, we have to manage our emotions, okay? Actually, we could connect mental with emotional kasi you feel the emotions. Then the next question is, what does your brain tell you about those emotions? And what are you going to do with those emotions? Okay? So, for the emotions, you generally become aware of your own feelings, pero dapat i-consider na natin yung feelings ng ibang tao. And this is actually sign for you, the emotional aspect of yourself could be a sign that it could be actually an alarm at some point. It could actually be signal when something's wrong. Okay, sometimes it's your emotions that will tell you, but sometimes your emotions can also be too much. Okay, so what should we do about it? Learn how to deal with your emotions, acknowledge your emotions first, and then check. Tama ba yung ginagawa ko? Did I react right? Something like that. Let's say, for example, on my end, I felt upset. I'll take time, if it's possible, to get away from the situation politely, or if there's a chance, and then I'll assess, why did I feel upset about the situation? Then from there, kumbaga, hindi lang puro emosyon, i-incorporate mo yung pag-iisip para balanced, okay? O galit ako, bakit ako nagalit? Okay? And I'll try to rationalize. Hanggang makita ko na yung reason na, okay, ganito, ito yung dapat na, ito yung reason kung bakit ako nagalit. So, dapat pa ba akong magalit? Magiging beneficial ba sa akin kung galit pa rin ako hanggang ngayon? There's the processing. Okay? So, you may be excited to take new challenges to become more independent, whereas others may need more support to build confidence, and not everyone has the same way of coping up with emotions, okay? Lalo na ngayong pandemic, it's a roller coaster ride of emotions. So if you feel bad, like what we mentioned earlier, if you don't feel okay, that's okay. Then social, you as an adolescent must continue to find how you relate with others. Okay, this one, napaka-importante, classmates. It's not who you are. It's who you know, actually. Okay? So, but moreover, before we get to that, questions of who am I and who do I want to be may direct you to a deeper understanding of yourself. Pero yung sarili mo, hindi yan magiging ikaw kung wala yung mga taong nakapalibot sa'yo. You may adopt the values and roles of your parents or even the elders surrounding you to help you come up with your own identity. Okay? Pero be careful with the people you go with. Okay? There's also the peer relationships. Okay? You build relationships with your peers. Build your relationship with your peers through a social interrelated activity or activities. Actually, minsan mas gusto mo pa silang, may times na gusto mo silang kabanding, na-excite na kabanding mo sila. Pero, it will be better kung, kumbaga ano siya, balanced. Kasi, by this age, I realized that there are friends who would only be there for quite some time. Hindi dahil ginusto nila, pero life dictates it. But your family is intended to be there forever, okay? Pero hindi naman ibig sabihin na porket family siya, then toxic na siya, isinin mo siya, pwedeng i-cut off sa life mo. If the person is becoming abusive and detrimental to your overall well-being, pwede mo rin namang i-cut off, okay? Pero in general, if there are people who ideally stays longer, it would be your family, okay? Ang friends, minsan, super close mo siya ngayon, sasabihin mo sa isa't isa na, Uy, BFF na tayo forever ah. The next thing you know, after 3 years or 5 years, you'll be like total strangers already because of some circumstances. Okay? Pwede natin pag-usapan yan eventually. Then next, spiritual. Di man porket sinabing spiritual is maka-Diyos agad, na araw-araw nagsisimba, etc. Yes, you can be maka-Diyos, but more than those terms, it's about your relationship with God. Actually, I would prefer a spiritual person than a religious person. A spiritual person is someone who knows what he or she believes in, has a good relationship with God, over a religious person. Okay? Kasi mas malakas, mas may pinaghuhugutan ang spiritual na tao na may malakas na pananampalataya over the religious. So, sige, araw-araw nagsisimba, etc. But at least it should manifest sa mga actions mo. Okay? Mas maganda kung meron pa rin adult na role model. Okay? So with that, after discussing the 5 dimensions of human individual, you could like consider alin dito yung importante. Ano dito yung i-include ko sa personal development plan. Okay? So a personal development plan is an action plan for self-development with education, relationship, career, or for self-improvement. Okay? Para makapag-reflect. I will also do this actually because it's very interesting. Okay? Mag-share din ako later. So you can do it. Okay? So what are you supposed to do? First, you have to write a poem of at least 4 lines, at least lang so you could extend, you could have more on how you value yourself. You may read the poem with your family at home or share it with your friends in your social media account. So you may use Canva as well. I-layout niyo siya ng dramatic, then you i-share. Okay? What I have learned, so you have to make your own pledge of commitment, parang promise mo to, stating that despite the many challenges you are facing now, still you are able to manage life with courage and determination. So write on a sheet of paper. Okay? Then share your thoughts and feelings by 3 big steps in achieving personal development. Ano yung gagawin mo? Okay? So references, there we have it. So thank you. Again, this PowerPoint was created by the homeroom designate, si Ma'am RG. Okay? So I don't claim credit for the material. So for the sharing, I'll be sharing we'll be sharing each other's outputs later. Okay, wait, stop ko lang yung recording. Okay.